What's up, guys? Andre Lindo back at you again with a Raptors recap, and we are talking about the Raptors and the Pelicans. I know it's kind of late. Sorry about that. I had a very important thing I had to do on Thursday, but nevertheless, I'm here to give you a recap of the New Orleans Pelicans versus the Toronto Raptors. Coming up. Okay, guys, this was an actual pretty good game. I'm very pleased with the Raptors and the way they played, and I wish that the Raptors played like this every single game. It was a very tight game. The Pelicans are a very good team. I know people might say they're not otherwise, but I think Pelicans are very good. When I see the play of Drew Holiday, if he can really step it up, and I didn't realize they had Tony Allen, and they have Moore, who's a good three-point shooter, and then they got the inside-out game with DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. So it was a very good game, right to the wire. The Raptors actually closed out this game. DeRozan was actually hitting shots, so kudos to those players. And let's go on to the key point. Point number one, I think this was Serge Ibaka's best game as a Raptor. And yeah, he may have scored more points some other times or whatnot, but I really think this was the game that I like to see. He grabbed 8 rebounds. He was active under the glass. He was defending. He was drawing back and forth with Demarcus Cousins. It was great. Even, I like that little play where he got that nice little dunk, and then he went that, and then the other play when he hit that jumper in DeMarcus's eye, and he just turned to the bench and got a technical foul. But that's the type of grittiness we're trying to see from Serge Ibaka and some of the other players. That it's this is competition. You need to get ready, play the game, and hit your jumpers, especially when you're open. He hit a lot of good jumpers. He wasn't forcing the shots. He missed a few, but obviously, you're not going to shoot 100%, but he was hitting his shot. He was hitting his three-pointers when he was needing it. He was scoring in rhythm. He had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he was really active under the basket, which is what I've been a proponent of. I understand the stretch 4 skill set here, but the fact of the matter is they still need to rebound. The Raptors had 48 rebounds in this game, which was really good against a team that has DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis. Point number 2, and this is something I've been kind of saying. I love our bench. Our bench is great, man. Siakam, Wright, Van Fleet to an extent, and Poeltl. But I really believe that the Raptors need an actual scorer, someone that can create off the dribble. And I'm not sure who that player is, and that's why I think we should move Norm to the bench. With Norm coming on at the second unit, all the pressure is off. He's been watching the game. He could come in and play that pseudo score for the second unit. His defense is great. I know that's why mostly that he's on the bench. Is starting because of his size and the way he's been playing. But the fact of the matter is, if you put him on coming off the bench with that second unit, man oh man, like the scoring touch is what we need. There's times when they've come down on sets where it's just like a set half-court game, and they just cannot run a great play because there's no one to command double teams. There's no one to really physically keep an eye out on to see if they're going to score. There's not any great shooters off the bench. There's not any great movers of the ball they move the ball, but there's just not a guy that's an offensive threat other than CJ Miles. But CJ Miles is one-dimensional. Although he does really good things without the ball and moving without the ball, it's very easy to kind of stop him as a player. So my suggestion is I think we should move Norm to the bench, and I think we should start CJ Miles. And then once OG is finally ready to have that starting role, put OG in the starting lineup and then CJ Miles on the bench. So this is just me nitpicking at the bench, but I love the bench and I love the way they've been playing. Point number 3, so we go back to OG. OG closed out this game. He was actually defending Drew Holiday and trying to keep him under wraps because Drew Holiday was killing us. And I was so impressed with the way he was playing, because the funny thing is, and this is why I love OG, he's long enough to defend a point guard, or agile enough to defend a point guard, and then long enough to defend someone like Anthony Davis or another big. So it's that in that game where you were switching, it's like nothing's you're not losing anything when you do these switches. And that's why I like seeing OG closing out the games. It's too bad Norm wasn't closing out the games, but Drew Holiday was killing him all game. So what do you do? You know, Casey made an adjustment, put in OG, and we got to see a little glimpses of what OG can do. And man, I saw him do that dunk. He got up real high, dunked the ball. I was like, wow, this kid has ups, and he's just, because he's still not 100%. I want to see when this kid is going to be 100%, because man, oh man, they got to steal with this guy. I mean, wow. Player of the game was DeMar DeRozan. He was on fire. He was scoring and shooting. And then again, he had a really small defender on him most of the time, and he actually closed out the game in the fourth quarter, hitting a high percentage of his shots in that fourth quarter. And that's what we want to see from DeRozan. He finished with 33 points, 2 rebounds, and an 8 assists. And those 8 assists, those are the things that we were looking for DeRozan. You don't need to force your shot. You don't need to force the game. You know, you can move the ball and pass the ball to that open player, because you know what? Especially when he's hitting those 3-pointers. You know, he's 2 for 6. He was 2 for 2 right in the start of the match. And here's the thing: when he's hitting those 3-pointers, now people have to kind of, you know what? We gotta defend him out there. And when that happens, is he can drive to the basket, the defense collapses, and he passes it out. And it's up to his teammates to hit those 3-pointers or hit those jumpers that he's getting. And they were. So 8 assists for DeRozan, which is really good. Got 1 steal, you know, doing very good. So I'm very, very proud of DeRozan today. You know, 11 for 13 from free throw line, so he's getting to the free throws. And I'm proud of the Raptors staying calm and not getting into it with Demarcus Cousins, that was trying to, you know, push the player, especially JV. He was trying to push, and he was trying to push Serge, which, you know. Anyways, but that's great game by the Raptors, and keeping it under wraps and keeping it, you know, focused, not panicking. Anyways, guys, that's all I have today. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe. It should be there. And let's get this community, let's get the conversation started, build this community, and let's hope the Raptors win the next game. So next game for the Raptors is tomorrow, which is Sunday, against the Boston Celtics. And I hear no Horford, no Kyrie, and no Hayward. So yeah, let's hope the Raptors can capitalize on that, unlike what had happened in Washington when there was no John Wall. Let's get that win and start pushing ourselves to the top of the East. Anyways, guys, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Woo!